Hi, my name is Molly. I am from the Casita Chattahoochee Valley Public Library, and today we are going to read a book that kind of goes along with our theme, Imagine Your Story. I'm going to read this book, and then after, my friend Beverly is going to do a craft that kind of goes along with it. She's going to make a mermaid bath bomb. Alright, so the book is Fancy Nancy and the Mermaid Ballet. I have thrilling news. Thrilling means terrific and exciting, all mixed together. We're going to be in a ballet. I tell my mom and JoJo. It's called Deep Sea Dances. I am positive, that's fancy for 100% sure, that Madame Lucille will pick Bree and me to be mermaids. We play mermaids all the time. JoJo's kiddie pool is our lagoon. A lagoon is a fancy kind of lake. We pretend that our clubhouse is called Mermaid Mansion. Mansions are almost as big and fancy as castles. Our mermaid names are Turquoise and Sapphire, which are fancy shades of blue. Here is my mermaid costume. I designed it myself. The night before dance class, I perform for everyone. Not to brag, but I am the most graceful person in my family. Ta-da! I make my grand entrance. I do leaps that are called jetés and knee bends that are called pliés. Don't you love how so many ballet words are in French? Ooh, maybe Madame Lucille will make me head mermaid. Then I lower my voice. Of course, I'll feel terrible if I end up with a bigger part than Bree. Nancy, remember being in a ballet is thrilling no matter what part you have. I nod. I guess my mom is worrying that Bree won't get a good part too. Today, I hardly wobble at all when I balance on one leg. And I am almost positive that Rhonda bumped into me, not the other way around. Twice, Madame Lucille says I am making progress. That is fancy for getting better. I say, Merci, Madame. Then I curtsy in the special ballet way. At the end of class, Madame Lucille announces the parts. Bree and I sit together, all my fingers crossed. I can hardly stand the surprise. At pickup time, I tell my dad the awful news. I am a tree, and I'm just an oyster, Bree says. My dad acts like this is so thrilling. Dad, you don't understand. My costume will be brown, I explain. There's no way to look fancy in brown. Later, we have a tea party to cheer ourselves up. I say, Chérie, that's French for darling. You are going to be the greatest oyster ever. Bree says nobody will be a better tree than you. At the next dance class, we practice our parts. And guess what? I'm not just a plain old tree. Madame Lucille tells me to pretend I am a weeping willow. Willows are very graceful, Madame says. Their branches swoop and sway and swirl in the wind. I swoop and sway everywhere I go. I make my face look very sad because I am a weeping willow. A week later, there is startling news. Startling is fancy for surprising, only in a bad way. Savannah, who is one of the mermaids, has sprained her ankle. She cannot dance. But Madame Lucille tells us Savannah can still be in the ballet. She will be one of the oysters, and Bree will take Savannah's place as one of the mermaids. Say what? Bree throws her arms around me. She is beaming, that smiling from ear to ear. I'm so happy for you, I say, only I don't really mean it. I liked it much better when neither of us got to be a mermaid. At home, I stuffed my beautiful costume in the back of my closet. My mermaid days are over. When my mom comes to say goodnight, I tell her about Bree. I'm a terrible girl. I lied. I said I was happy for her, and I'm not. That's not lying exactly. You want to be happy for Bree, don't you? My mom asked me. Of course, she is my best friend. It's just hard now because Bree got something you wanted very much. You're jealous. But your heart is generous and warm. It will melt the bad feelings away. I am 100% positive that my mom is the wisest mother in the world. The next morning, I give Bree my fanciest shell tiara. It's yours for keeps, I tell her. I wish we were both mermaids, she says. Soon it is time to get ready. My costume is magnificent. My branches are made of tinsel, and I wear a little nest in my hair. I am going to be the fanciest willow tree ever. The ballet is a smashing success. That's fancy for a big hit. When it's my turn to dance, something happens. I feel carried away by the music. I swoop and sway almost as if I were a real weeping willow. At the end, we all get a standing ovation. That means everyone jumps up and claps like crazy. My parents give me a beautiful bouquet of flowers. Merci, I say. Mom, you were right. It was thrilling to perform in a ballet. We all go to the King's Crown to celebrate. Bree and I toast each other. That means we clink our glasses together and then we shout, "Bravo for us!" The end.
Hi everyone, my name is Beverly. I'm with the seat of Chattahoochee County Public Library, and today I'm going to be demonstrating a little craft project to go along with our story, Fancy Nancy and the Mermaid Ballet. I have my mask on and gloves because the instructions for this little experiment calls for a mask and gloves just to protect yourself from touching anything or breathing any powder in. We're just working with a bunch of powders. Nothing's really super dangerous or anything, but just to take some precautions. Just maybe put something over your face, tie or something, and then something to protect your hands. Okay, today we're going to be making mermaid theme bath bombs. And we have some candy molds, chocolate molds that we're using. There's a mermaid tail and a seahorse and a couple of shells and a sea star. However, if you don't have these kind of things at home, these little candy molds, muffin tin will work to make a bath bomb. An egg carton will also work to hold the shape of a bath bomb. So anything you have that is a small container that will hold the shape of these bath bombs will work. They just need to be in something that you don't mind not using for a night, because these things need to sit overnight to harden. Alright, so what we're demonstrating today is a concept in chemistry called acid-base reactions. Now, what happens in acid-base reactions is the two substances, the acid and the base, are trying to neutralize each other. Acids have more hydrogen ions and bases have more hydroxide ions, and they want to exchange these hydrogen ions to make each other stable. So they're trying to neutralize each other. And that's what you're going to see here. Often these reactions, you can see they bubble and fizz, which is why it's good to do them in a bath bomb. In our experiment today, the acid we are using is called cream of tartar. And this is going to serve as our acid. And our base in this experiment is baking soda. pH of baking soda runs about at a 9. on a scale of 1 to 14. And the cream of tartar runs about a pH of 5. Anything below a 7 on the pH scale is an acid. Anything above a 7 is going to be a base. Alright, so let's get started. First of all, I have all of our ingredients over here in their packages. You can see we have baking soda, cream of tartar, cornstarch, Epsom salt, food coloring, and I have water in the cup over here. I couldn't bring the faucet out, so here's water. And everything is pre-measured. So we're going to add 1/4 cup of cornstarch, a half cup of baking soda, our base, a 1/4 cup of Epsom salt. Epsom salt's good in a bath because it helps soothe your muscles and things. The cornstarch, it's not an acid or a base in this experiment. This is basically a filler. It's going to help the bath bomb hold its shape. It's not going to be reacting. And 1/4 cup of cream of tartar. And we're going to mix all of these dry ingredients together, like so. Once those are pretty well mixed, you're going to add about 4 tablespoons of water. That's what I have measured out in this cup. And kind of stir it together. And it's, in case you can't hear it because I'm kind of far away, it's kind of fizzing just a little bit. Alright, and so it's going to form kind of this pasty material. And now we're going to add a little more liquid. We have essential oils. And these things are what's going to give it its nice smell. So we're going to add 10 drops of a lavender essential oil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can use any essential oil you prefer. What's listed here is lavender, rose, and chamomile. This is the rose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the chamomile, same thing, we're going to add 10 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're going to give this a good mix together to get our oils mixed in with our little paste. And it smells really good, so that's a plus. While you're making this, you can kind of already smell what it's going to be like. Alright, so once you have your mixture all put together like that, you're going to have to half your mixture. I have 2 little bowls here. You're going to take half of it and place it in one bowl. And take the other half and place it in the other bowl, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Let me finish scooping it out here. And I will change my glove. That one got a little messy. Now, you can pick what colors you would like your bath bomb to be. For our experiment, we picked purple and teal. Alright. Let's see. I'm going to add about 1, 2, 3, 4 drops of the purple to the left side. And then our other bowl, we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 drops of teal. You can add as much or as little food coloring as you wish. Okay. And you're going to give it a good mix, and you kind of see it taking on the pretty color. And that's just 4 drops, and that did a lot. So I think you're pretty set with 3 or 4 drops. But again, it is your preference. And we'll mix them all together so it's all nicely one uniform color, and that's our purple. And we'll get a different spoon for the teal. And mix it all together. And if you want to make more bath bombs than what I'm making, because this is a pretty small recipe, you can always double it. You know, just to double your portion, say, instead of a half cup of baking soda, you'd make a cup of baking soda, and it'll make you a bigger portion of bath bombs. Now, you can use your mold and scoop. You can make your bath bomb 2 different colors. So if I make the top part of the mermaid's tail purple, I can make the bottom part teal and just kind of make sure it gets into whatever mold you're choosing. So like that. And it's gonna kind of sit in there, don't jostle it around or anything or it will come out. And let's make, let's see, the purple seahorse. We'll fill that in pretty good. And the way I can describe working with this stuff is kind of like, it's like a airy Play-Doh. It's real light and it's almost like a whipped Play-Doh. So it's got that texture going for it. It's really, and it smells really good. You're gonna love the smell. So I'm just making some sea-themed shapes, and like I said earlier, if you have an ice cube tray or an egg carton or a muffin tin, you can use those. So I'm gonna use the rest in this muffin tin because our next little part of this experiment, we're going to show you how they react with water when they undergo their neutralization reaction and start exchanging those hydrogens. So that's going to be a nice thing to do. Once you have all of your bath bomb material scooped into your molds, these will need to sit, there's a minimum on it of 3 hours. However, the instructions I'm using say to let them sit at least overnight. Okay? So put your molds in a safe place and let them sit somewhere where they won't be disturbed, and come back in 24 hours and you can take them out of the mold and pop them into the bath water. And we'll see you next time for the reaction. Thank you.
Hi everybody, this is Beverly with the Chattahoochee County Public Library. We are back with the conclusion of our bath bomb video, mermaid theme bath bomb video. And these came out really nice. There's the mermaid tail, and a shell, and a sea star. And we just want to demonstrate how these work. And the water does need to be warm. Of course, when you take a bath, you're going to have a warmer bath water. The water should kind of take on whatever color you put in your bath bomb. So whatever color food coloring you chose, it should appear in the water. The scent, whatever essential oil you put in there, we put lavender, rose, and I think some kind of vanilla in ours. It also should smell good. And Epsom salt, again, just for comfort, eases minor aches and pains. And if you'll remember from our previous video, our acid was the cream of tartar and our base was the baking soda. And so what you're hopefully going to see here is an acid-base reaction, which should cause some fizzing. And so let's hope this works. So I do see bubbles, that's a good sign. And it may take a minute because this water is not super hot. The water is kind of changing color a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the other greenish one in there. And it is, once it gets into the middle, it is starting to fizz more. So that is a sign that you've made your bath bomb correctly. And again, your bath water is probably going to be a little hotter than what I have here. And you see the bubbles coming up, that's the reaction taking place. So what's going on with the acid-base reaction is they are in the process right now of exchanging hydrogens and trying to make each other neutral. So that's the fizzing you see. And as you see from the clear bowl, the water is taking on that teal color that we used. We used purple and teal in this one, and these were just the teal. I will tell you, the ones I made in the previous video with the tin muffin cups, they had a metal in them, tin. And I think that had something to do with the bath bombs not setting because they were still like wet, dewy, or gooey brownie dough or cookie dough in the middle. So they did not set. These are actually hard. And since we're using these, I'm just going to break it so you can see they are hard through and through on the inside. So if you made these, I hope they turned out well for you and that you enjoy them. And make some more when you have a chance. Good little, another mold to use if you don't have the rubber molds that we used. Little Dixie paper cups like you would use for mouthwash. Or anything like those silicone or rubber candy molds did really well, as you see. Anyways, that's the conclusion of this experiment, and thanks for watching.
We are springing into summer learning at the Chattahoochee Valley Libraries, and the program you just attended is one of the ways you can earn completions. Just go to cvlga.org and look for Spring into Summer Learning. You can register yourself and your family online, and then start reading and attending our online events. That's all you have to do. We're giving away weekly gift certificates, and every completion you make enters you into a grand prize drawing for tablets, games, gifts, and more. Remember, you have to register to win. cvlga.org, and we'll see you online again real soon.